Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth has already managed to break the records of its predecessors in terms of Metacritic scores, 89 out of 100%, and peak online in Steam, 46.1 thousand people. Now the title of the fastest-selling game in the series has been added to that. As Ryu ga Gotoku Studio reported on its microblog, in the week since the official release, total shipments and sales of Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth in digital stores exceeded 1 million copies. Independent video game analyst Benji Sales noted that Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth has not sold at the rate of any other installment in the franchise in the past. The best-selling game in Ryu ga Gotoku Studios' crime series to date, released in 2020, Yakuza, Like a Dragon, reached 1.8 million copies sold by the end of 2023. In 2021, Sega concluded that simultaneous multi-platform release in multiple regions drives sales. And Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth appears to be a clear indication that this approach is true. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth was released on January 26, 2024 on PC, Steam, Microsoft Store, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. Full demonstration of Silent Hill 2 Remake from Bloober Team Studio took place during the State of Play broadcast. Players were shown gameplay and battles with monsters. Later on, YouTube came out and the trailer with gameplay. But even during the broadcast, players expressed their dissatisfaction with what they saw. The same network users expressed under the trailer, which gained about 16,000 dislikes with 22,000 likes. Players were confused by some budget of this remake. Some users thought that Konami looked at Resident Evil 4 Remake and thought that they could do the same thing for less money. Other users were not satisfied with the animations, graphics, sound and shooting experience. Also, some users noticed that the release date of Silent Hill 2 Remake still hasn't been announced. During Sony's State of Play presentation in January, Metal Gear creator Hideo Kojima surprised the gaming community as usual with the announcement of his return to the spy action genre, with a title combining game and movie with almost realistic graphics. As usual, the initial reaction was the sensational announcement of a spiritual successor to Metal Gear from Kojima, who left Konami years ago, causing the franchise to fade away. But then attention turned to another tantalizing possibility. Physint, the game's codename, could be one of the first games for the PlayStation 6. We don't know much about Physint. What we do know is that full development will begin at Kojima's studio after the completion of Death Stranding 2 with Sony's support. So a release on PlayStation is guaranteed. There's no exact timeline yet. Death Stranding 2 is scheduled for 2025. Let's assume that at best, the game will be released at the beginning of the year, so work on Physint would start shortly after that, and we can expect a launch in 2026, 2027, 2028? It's unclear at this point. Although given the close cooperation between Kojima and Sony, it's likely that the legendary developer is already aware of the Japanese corporation's secret plans for the next generation PlayStation. Hideo Kojima has quietly recruited an experienced action director who has worked on Metal Gear Solid 5 and Devil May Cry 5 to work on Death Stranding 2. At Sony's State of Play presentation, the big 9-minute trailer for Death Stranding 2 on the beach showed a cyborg ninja fighting against Rocker Higgs with a laser guitar. It's very effective, but at the 7:20 mark, Yoji Shimomura's name appears in the creator list under the heading Fight Scene Director. It's easy to overlook this point amidst the intense action. Oh, and Shimomura himself is not widely known in the West. However, he has worked as a fight scene director on as many as 16 games, including several installments of Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, and previously collaborated with Hideo Kojima on Metal Gear Solid 5. The title of his position is rather vague, and it seems as if Shimomura is directly responsible for the action in the game. However, given his experience specifically with staging, it's more likely that he's overseeing the directing of action cutscenes, like the one where his name appears. Hours after the trailer was published, Kojima noted Shimomura's contribution to Death Stranding 2 on Twitter. As it turns out, a lot of old associates are working on the game, including Kyle Cooper, Ludwig Forsell, and Shimomura himself. The other day, Ubisoft launched another closed beta testing of cooperative PvE shooter codenamed Project U. Someone from the participants decided to share a gameplay recording. In the 30-second clip, generously filled with white stripes, you can see a character who rides a jetpack among the trees and shoots something that looks like robots. Very content-wise, Project U still hasn't been thickly announced. The official website states that we're in for a new kind of session-based cooperative shooter where players unite in mass battles against unstoppable legions of machines. The release date and title of the shooter are also still unknown.